Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sara Lihz and we're going to make a fun holiday card project using the holiday mousse. It's a die-and-stencil set from Waffle flour, and then we're going to add some holiday lights and light them up using Twinkle lights from Pearblossom Press. I just love this one. It comes together really easily, and while this guy is called Holiday Mousse, he can be used all year round, and I just think he's hilarious. We're also going to make a custom sentiment. There are several layers to the stencil, and I love that they are labeled for me. So one says light, one says medium, and one says dark. And I'm using a little grip mat to hold my mousse in place. And you'll notice it is just a single layer of that die cut mousse. And it's really easy to line everything up. I've cut some of it out because I get my head right over the top of it. I find that that is the best way to make sure my stencils are right where I want them. This ink goes all the way to the edges of that die cut in some spots. And so it's really important to just take your time with that. But on this second layer, you can see we're getting some lovely shading. And then there's that third dark layer, light, medium, and dark. And I'm just using 3 shades of brown ink. But if you only had one, just go with a light hand and then a slightly darker hand, and then go really heavy-handed on the third one. For this mousse, there are eyes you can completely stack using die cuts, but you can also just stack the white layer and then stencil in the black pupil. And that's what I'm going to do to try to keep some of the bulk down. I also think it can get weird with animal die cuts when the eyes are like 4 layers thick and everything else is a lot less. I'm using a black pigment ink here to make sure that they're super duper dark. I wanted to check and see if I liked how that turned out, and it did. So then I put the stencil right back on there because there are also these little spots. I think they're supposed to be leaves, but certainly while they're small, you could turn those into the holiday lights. But I wanted something a little bigger and bolder. So I just went with a dark green ink for some dark green leaves on our mousse. And then we're going to work on the background. I am taking a little shortcut. This is the A2 watercolor paper pad from scrapbook.com. And so I've grabbed one in a dark purple. I love purple for the holidays. And this one, we're going to darken up around the edges like it's a night sky outside. So I have some navy ink, and I'm going to come around both sides and the top. Not the bottom as much, mostly because the mousse covers almost all of it. And then once I've got that done, I'll clean off my desk real quick and come back in with some of that black pigment ink just for a really dramatic look. Once we get that color on there, I also want to add just a little bit of shine in the background. Maybe they're stars. This is the Sparkle Splatter Effects from Spellbinders. It comes in like a little nail polish bottle. So I shake it up, and then there's a little brush in there, and I tap downwards so that the ink is going down and not up and all over my camera and everywhere else. It dries really quickly, and it's got great shine. Then I'm borrowing just the lights from this Yuletide Ride die set from Spellbinders, and I have 3 of them cut and a bunch of bulbs, colored bulbs, to put over the top. I don't want it to look like I have the same strand of lights repeated 3 times, so I'm strategically placing this so that different pieces will be tucked behind the mousse at different times. Once I get the first 2 set down, I can grab my glue bottle and carefully add glue along the little thin strands, and then I will add it behind some of the bulbs as we go along. This is a little bit of a delicate process, so I'm using my tweezers just to kind of hold the strands carefully and not get glue everywhere. My ink is a dye ink, and it's water reactive, and if I get glue on it, sometimes it can react to the wetness in the glue and look a little funky. So just, again, being really careful, and then I'll go in with my glue bottle and add glue behind some of the bulbs here and there. If I were to make this card again, I would figure out which bulbs I'm going to light up, and I would actually clip off the black layer of the bulbs because we're going to end up with 2 layers of cardstock sort of surrounding the light, and they flash a little bit better when you only have the one covering the light. But that's okay. I actually think it turns out great, but if you want a brighter twinkle in the end, that will certainly help you with that. I'm going to add one last little piece of a strand of light here on the end. Although in editing, I was looking at this, and I think it would have been hilarious to have a whole bunch of lights like trailing off to the side. But it's a little bit of a tight fit anyway. So from here, I'm actually adding one more spot for a light. Even if I was going to remove the black bulb part, I would still want the base of the bulb there. So just trim off whatever you need from another strand. And then I'm going through and poking 3 holes. There are 3 lights on our Twinkle lights. And so I'm trying to make sure I know exactly where I want those to go. I have a hole now through the mousse and the light strand and my very thin pattern paper. It's maybe 80 pound, maybe 65 pound. And since I have to pop this up on foam, I added 1 more layer of heavyweight black cardstock behind it, and then I'll poke the holes again. I just didn't want to have to stick my pokey tool through a layer of a light strand and the mousse and the pattern paper and that black layer of cardstock. Like, that's a little too much even for me. So now I have my separate pieces, and I am just going to stick my pokey tool through one of those holes in the mousse and then a hole in the pattern paper, and I can use it like a pivot and get that mousse again all the way down on the bottom, and just make sure everything's lining up. My holes are exactly where they need to be. Press everything firmly. Then I'm going to come in with my tweezers and I'm going to open up those holes a little bit. I want the lights sitting flush with the cardstock, right? And so it needs a bigger hole than just what my pokey tool can do. The bigger the better. I'd still need enough of the bulb left over that I can glue the colored piece on top, but that's really the only limitation here. Then I'll flip this over and grab my Twinkle lights. If you haven't used lights from Pearblossom Press before, they are so easy. You add the battery, you push the button, and it turns on. And the Twinkle lights are my favorite because the 3 strands blink at different times. I want to make sure that this card will last a really long time. So I'm taking my card base and I am going to have my lights in the corner. So I just traced around that sort of battery pack. And then I'm going to create a score line on that edge. I left myself a little bit of room, so score line. And then I'm going to grab my scissors and just cut from the edge to that score line to create a little flap. This is like an escape hatch for the battery, so I can replace it later in case it runs down. I've lined up where it goes on the card. I have in the past put it on the wrong side of the card because I didn't do that. So visually for me, I line it up where I want it to go. And then I've just used some double-sided adhesive to add it to the card panel. I'm not adding it to the card base, right? If I add it to the card base, it can get tricky to open without pulling the wires too much. Then I will take my lights and I'm sticking them through the holes. When you look at the ends, there is a light yellow part that is the actual light and it has a front. You want to make sure the front of that light is facing outward. Otherwise, it will still flash. You'll still see it, but it's not quite as bright. I know that this has to flash through a layer of heavyweight cardstock. A lot of the bulbs, the colored bulbs I cut out are 100-pound cardstock. And so I just wanted to make sure I had the best positioning possible. I've used low-tech tape on the back so that I could move those around. If you're just using Scotch tape, that's fine, but don't press too hard until you're sure. I'm constantly pressing the button and testing and making sure that everything is going to work. This happens to be micropore tape, which is like a medical tape that I sometimes use for paper crafting, but whatever you have on hand, I'm sure will work fine. Then I'm using some 3mm black foam, and I'm going to go all the way around the edges and in the middle just to make sure I have a really sturdy card and it's not going to collapse in the middle if somebody presses in the wrong place. I need to leave a hole where that battery pack is. So you saw me kind of testing the card base and making sure I knew how big that escape hatch was. So I wasn't going to have foam, which then means adhesive, where I have a flap I need to be able to open later. I have this tucked into the corner of my scoreboard, really just so I have a right angle, and then I can tuck my card base into that same corner, and I know I'll get it lined up perfectly every time. I always make sure it is the fold of the card that's getting tucked into the corner because I can always trim off any excess on other sides of the card. Then I'm adding glue, not on top of the lights. I'm adding it on top of the cardstock, and then I will add my bulbs right on top of that. I have a little wax pickup tool from Trinity Stamps that makes this really quick and easy. There are so many bulbs on here, and I love the really bright, bold colors here. Then we're going to add a sentiment. This is Merry Christmas. This is from scrapbook.com. I'll show it to you in just a minute, but I wanted to say Merry Christmas. So we're going to do a little die cut surgery. I'm going to turn the A of Christmas on the end there into an O. I'm just trimming off a little bit. I'm rounding the edges. honestly, no one looks that closely. Okay, and as long as you kind of round everything, it's gonna look great. I cut a second one, and again, I'm trimming and I'm just creating an O out of the A, the same one, but this time I'm really kind of cutting all the way around it because it's not gonna connect to much of anything. Then I have the S that I had left over, and I'm just tidying it up a little bit before I take an E from Mary. And again, I am just going to trim very carefully this time on the end of the E. I want the end of it to look nice and rounded like the end of a die cut word. So here I have Merry Christmas from scrapbook.com, and I ended up cutting another one from a white shimmer cardstock. And then this will get me all set up to add my sentiment onto my card. I'm using tweezers here just to try to keep my hands from getting quite so gluey. I'll add little dots of glue all over. Sometimes I'll tap thin things like this on the back of my hand or a piece of scratch paper just to keep the glue from oozing. Again, we ink blended a little bit, and some of that is water reactive ink. And so I'm just extra careful. Then I can add my other letters on there one by one. I like getting everything kind of lined up first to make sure that they're centered. And then that way, when I go to add things back onto my card, I know that I'm going to end up with something I'm really happy with. Here comes the E, the last little bit here. This was so much easier than I thought. I was 90% sure I was going to abandon this Christmas idea and just do Christmas, but it turned out great, I think. It's a pink glitter cardstock there, and then here's my shimmer white. So we have all kinds of shine on here. We have that sparkle effect in the background, right? Glitter cardstock, shimmer cardstock, and then the twinkling of our lights. It is the holidays after all, and the best holiday cards have all the bells and whistles. You know you're going to give it to someone who's going to keep it if you've got this much going on, and that's my favorite. I always add the tittle at the end with my little pokey tool, and my friends, that is our card complete. I just love this guy so much, and so many of the supplies aside from the sentiment can be used year round. And of course, here's our little escape hatch for our battery. I have just a little bit of removable adhesive holding that closed. You could use washi tape. I hope this inspires you. I hope you're having a great holiday season. My friends, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.